Hello, Leo. I hope you're all doing well today. I'm just going to have you take a deep breath with me to start. And in. And out. I'm going to start with a card from one My Soul Whispered Oracle deck.
I feel like I can see how dirty my glasses are in this video. Maybe you can't.
I won't worry about that. So these two cards that I pulled that fell out down here are for you, but I do think for somebody there's a general message of standing out in an air of confidence, advocating for yourself, and forgiving yourself as well as others. If you're able to forgive yourself, a lot of times you're also able to forgive somebody else a lot faster afterwards, because a lot of the times we are angry and bitter towards those who remind us of the qualities we don't like about ourselves. So when we learn to forgive those qualities within ourselves, we can then in turn forgive others who also struggle with the same behaviors that remind us of ourselves. All right, and we have connected, divinity, and belong. Yeah, I'm already getting be aware of who you connect yourself to, because of your soul's divinity. Beware of what groups you belong to because of your divinity. The energies that you surround yourself with make an impact on you as a being, as a soul being. So it's always really important to be careful about who you let within your circle. Connected. When you feel the suffering of every living thing in your own heart, that is consciousness. Every relationship that has been in your life, as well as every relationship to come, is not without reason or purpose. Whether a welcome blessing or a harsh lesson, each connection you have shared with others has helped shape who you are. Even the most difficult relationships have left you with a greater strength, a greater sense of self, or a realization that you truly deserve to be happy. Perhaps the most critical of all your relationships is the one you hold with yourself. The way you treat yourself expresses the way you give others permission to treat you. Let your connections reflect the way you desire others to interact with you. Do not settle for anything less than the truth. Forge relationships with others and allow those connections to run deep. Most importantly, let your relationship with yourself to be your truest connection of all. My sacred words. I shine my soul flame brightly and allow the blaze to spread like wildfire. While the branches of a tree stretch upwards, its roots continue to grow deep, symbolizing your connection to self and others. The deeper you lay the foundations, the greater likelihood that the connections you have made will flourish. Divinity. The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Every human born into existence is divinity given human form. Oftentimes we forget this fact and find ourselves at the mercy of self-doubt and self-criticism. It is time to realize that your divine self is perfectly ample. Without trying, barefaced and naked, when everything has been stripped away and you stand broken, Know that in this moment you are enough. Realize with absolute certainty that your divine self, complete with all your perceived flaws, imperfections, and shortcomings, can never be enough, but who you are is enough. Stop engineering your outward appearance as one of perfection. Stop feeding into the endless rhetoric of toxic comparison, all the while allowing your self-worth to plummet. Everything you are and everything you will be has always been and always will be perfect. My sacred words. I am perfect exactly as I am, right here, right now. Angels represent the inherent divinity of all beings. The wings serve as your reminder that even during your greatest times of vulnerability, the divine always resides within. You are perfectly imperfect. Belong. Growth is painful. Change is painful. But nothing is as painful as staying the same, stuck somewhere you don't belong. Now is the perfect time to seek out the company of those who share similar beliefs and ideals with your own. If your current circle is not supportive of what you are striving toward, it may be necessary to limit the amount of time you spend with these people and seek out others who will support you in your endeavors. Humans tend to mimic the attitudes and behaviors of the people they are surrounded by. If you desire to make change in your life, you should begin by looking at those who you determine around you to determine whether those individuals reflect the person you desire to be. If you find that they hold competing values or goals, it may be time to seek out those whom you feel a greater sense of alignment. When you find a tribe where you truly belong, you will always allow yourself to flourish. My sacred words. I become increasingly like those whom I keep company. With this in mind, I choose wisely. Living in a group and eating in clusters, the sparrow chooses to remain with its kin in order to protect itself against predators. In order to thrive, humans must also be part of a group that shares a common purpose. All right. Let's see if we have any other calls to any other decks. Just take another deep breath with me. And in. And out. It's so funny. So I got this deck from my friend who is a Leo, and that makes I have this thing of like, if somebody gives me a deck, which I've now received 2 decks as gifts, which is, it makes me so joyous. But a lot of the times if I'm reading for the general population, I have a deck from a Cancer and I have a deck from a Leo. So when I read for Cancers, a lot of times the deck that I got from the Cancer will call to me. And then when I'm reading for Leo, this is the first time I've read for Leo since I've got this card, or this deck, and it called to me. So that is quite thrilling. Also, you may like cats, if that resonates with you. If not, leave it behind. But this is the Cat Tarot. So let's get to it. What do we have for Leos today? If the past, present, future is a situation, please Spirit give me past, present, future. If not, I will just read the messages as they come through. Thank you, Spirit, so much for being here. Oh, we already got flips. Okay. There is hard work. But there's this energy. Could you tell me more about this energy, Spirit? There's this energy of someone who might be sharp with their tongue. Someone who... Is this part of? No, that is not. Somebody who might be sharp with their tongue, maybe insensitive, maybe much more of a verbal communicator in general. But in this case, there's, I mean, I'm getting just kind of like a, somebody might be working on their attitude. Somebody might be working on the way that they communicate. Somebody might be working on being kinder. Somebody is not being, they're not holding like a logical, it's like a lot of, it's just, I'm feeling just illogical. There's I mean, we have the Eight of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and we have the King of Cups in the reverse. So, I'm gonna get my little cat tarot book because sometimes they have little fun little extra things, you know. But what I'm gathering is like, there's an imbalance. Somebody's giving more than somebody else. And there's something about this, like, somebody's working hard on the way that they communicate is what I keep on. They're working hard on the way that they communicate. Yeah. And yeah, okay. There's an aspect of somebody being self-centered here. There's an aspect of, it's almost like because one person's energy feels toxic, there's another person's responding with toxic energy of their own. I mean, take it if it resonates, but you could be dealing with an air sign or a water sign. I was about to say the action cards, which is interesting. It's almost like I'm feeling the verbs are earth. But I'm getting this energy of somebody that could be extremely loving when they're in their upright position, but right now that they are not in a energy of wanting to give love, of wanting to give like an overflowing cup, and it might just be more manipulation, more toxic energy, like trying to get what they want. Maybe, I mean, it also is imbalanced, so somebody's getting more than somebody else. Maybe somebody's really like fighting about that, there's some sort of imbalance. Yeah. And there's a tower moment. Somebody's having a tower moment. And it might be surrounding something that is really nostalgic, but just because something's nostalgic doesn't mean you need to hold on to it. Sometimes, and of course, take what's yours, leave the rest behind. I'm just getting for somebody that there's a tower moment around this scenario of imbalanced, toxic energy, but something about it is nostalgic. Something about it is like there was a lot of love for it in the past. It's just that there's a Tower moment that is exposing... It's exposing the lack of moderation, the lack of balance, the lack of equal give and take within this dynamic. And so something is... maybe one person just has a lot more power than another person. There's just some sort of power imbalance that is causing a lot of strife, a lot of bad words, a lot of manipulation, and maybe like guilt tripping. Oh. And then I have these two cards in... okay, so this is... okay, so I'm also getting that some people might be going through... it's almost like heart aches. Not heartbreaking, but heart aches. It's like potentially if things stay as painful and stressful as they are, the heart might break. But right now, it's like teetering. You feel like heart aches and I'm gonna, cause it's not exactly, maybe some of you might be feeling stabbed in the back. Maybe some of you. Yeah. You might be feeling a lot of anxiety. Yep. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm getting for some of you, it's just like, I'm almost getting like play fighting. Like this is just another argument that's gonna be solved. It just needs a little bit of clarity. That's why the heart is hurting. It's like, that's why the heart is aching a little bit, because it's like, you know that the solution is right there, but it needs a little bit of clarity. And then for others of you, there is this, like, the heart is teetering and there's a lot of anxiety and depression potentially involved. But I think it's like some of you have the tools to find the solution, and others of you might just be feeling a little bit too much anxiety to identify that you have the tools, and there's an amount of grounding that's needed in order to grasp the tools and use them in the way that is necessary in order to locate that middle ground and that moderation. I'm just gonna ask one more. Is there anything else? Don't hold on to what isn't for you. Especially if your intuition is strongly telling you that it's time to loosen your grip. For some of you, there may be something that your grip may need to be loosened. And yeah. A lot of the times, having hope, having desire is a thing that will allow what you want to come to fruition. So don't lose that desire or that hope. Remember to keep strong and choose those well-discerned actions. Take what's yours and leave the rest behind. Thank you so much for being here, Leo. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.